What is up, you guys? I'm so excited for today because today is a day of eliminating excuses. So yesterday, we hopefully had a little bit of a breakthrough, hopefully. Raise your hands if you've been here for Raise your hand if you've been here for every single day since we've started, beginning to end, fully present. If not, it's okay. But I want you to kind of self-assess that today and be like, how present have I been? How many notes have I taken? And by the way, a tip, take notes like you're going to show it to somebody else, like you're going to teach somebody else this, because you will retain so much more if you're actually taking notes, writing this down, following along, and being super present. So today is going to be a get to work day. Like, what can we do to be extra freaking productive? So if you're following along in the book, so in chapter 4, your time, there's actually an UNstuck quiz. And I want to go through it with you because we, especially having gone through a month where we feel like we didn't achieve what we could have, what are you feeling right now? So if you're following this with me, you'll see it's kind of like one of those, I was going for those, like, I'm going to age myself. Did anybody else read Cosmo Girl? I was not allowed to read Cosmopolitan when I was little. I had to read Cosmo Girl. And even that, my dad was like, are you serious? Because what you guys know, right? Like if you're a millennial, the choice of words on the cover of a Cosmopolitan magazine for a father of a teenage daughter, I can't even imagine. I'm like, that's wild. But I loved my Cosmo Girl magazines with the quizzes. So there's a lot of that in this book. But if you go through this and you kind of just like follow how you're feeling, I can help you. So let's go through this together. And if you don't have this in front of you, all good. Pen to paper, let's write this down. So what are you feeling the most of? So there's 5 categories. So listen closely. Are you feeling stressed, tired, distracted, or scattered? If so, that would be overwhelm. It can be a combo of both too, by the way. Are you feeling discouraged, annoyed, frustrated, angry? That would be defeat. And I think that the reason I'm doing this with you is I struggle with this. If you're able to label how you feel and really able to kind of peel back the onion and just figure out like, why am I feeling this way? That is the only way that you can solve the issue. If you're just sitting there like, I'm done, I'm angry, I'm giving up, I feel lethargic, I'm tired, you can't solve the issue. So if we can get to the bottom of it, that's how we can start to change. So that's why today is really like, let's get to work and let's make this happen. Now that we've released the negative labels and all of that, let's figure out what you're feeling, why you're feeling it, and let's change your freaking life. Cool? So discouraged, annoyed, frustrated, angry, that's defeat. Restless, uneasy, tension, like if you're tensed, and unfocused, so like you're all over the place, you're probably anxious. If you feel meaningless, uninterested, lethargic, or disengaged, you're probably lacking motivation. You're probably severely unmotivated right now for some reason or another, which we're going to figure it out. If you're feeling unconfident, judged, unstable, or rejected, you're probably fearful. So you're probably feeling fear. So you're either overwhelmed, defeated, anxious, unmotivated, or fearful. And if you were to think of a specific area in your life right now that has you feeling stuck, if there's a goal that you're trying to achieve and it's just not clicking and you feel stuck in that phase of your life or in that season of your life or that specific area, which one of these are you feeling the most? So is it overwhelmed, defeat, anxious, unmotivated, or fearful in that specific area? Because it could shift from area to area. Let's say you're trying to start a new relationship and it's just not clicking. That could be something completely different than if you're trying to start a new career. So if you get really specific about the area of life that you're trying to move forward on and it's not moving forward, what are you feeling? So if you're feeling overwhelmed, the goal that you're trying to achieve is probably very difficult or just really big. If you're feeling defeated, the goal is probably frustrating or constantly changing. If you're feeling anxious, the goal is probably just really unclear or unwanted. Just saying. If you're feeling unmotivated, the goal is probably way too boring for you or too familiar. Congratulations, you're a genius. If you're feeling fearful, the goal is probably scary or just new. You've never done it before. So there's nothing wrong with you. So I think hopefully just that alone can maybe give you a little bit of clarity. So let's going back to overwhelm. So if the goal is difficult or immense and that's what's got you feeling overwhelmed, the tasks are feeling large, time consuming, complex, never ending or hard to do. So let's say you're starting a new YouTube channel or a blog and you're trying to get into TikTok or a new career and you're like, I'm just overwhelmed. The tasks are probably really big, time consuming, complex, never ending, or just very hard to do. You should probably simplify it. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, if the goal, you're feeling defeated and the goal is probably frustrating or ever changing, the tasks are feeling interrupted, miscommunicated, inaccurate, malfunctioning, or off target, you should probably get focused. So if you're feeling defeated, we need to get you focused. If you're feeling overwhelmed, we need to simplify it. If you're feeling anxious, the goal is probably unclear or unwanted, the tasks are vague, undefined, ambiguous, uncertain, or disorganized, we need to get clarity on that. So we need to make it clear. So if you're feeling anxious, you need clarity. Do you see where I'm going? Overwhelm, simplify it. Defeated, get focused. Anxious, make it clear. If you're feeling unmotivated, the goal is probably boring or too familiar. The tasks are probably mundane, not challenging, way too easy, pointless, or mind-numbing. You need to add meaning. So if you're unmotivated, add meaning. If you're fearful, if the goal is scary or new, the tasks are feeling criticized, difficult, liable, unfamiliar, or even confusing, you need to build confidence. So if you're feeling fearful, build confidence. So those would be the 5 categories. So let's say you're feeling overwhelmed and we're going to simplify it. Across the board, every single one of these, whether you're going to simplify it, get focused, make it clear, add meaning, or build confidence, the first thing that you need to do in any of these situations is eliminate phone time, eliminate social media, make sure your diet is in check, because that could be one of the things that's making you feel overwhelmed, anxious, unmotivated, fearful. TV time, basically any of the dopamine, the unhealthy dopamine feeders, any of those. So once we've adjusted those and we've gotten real about just how we're spending our extra time, specific things that you can do are, so if you need to simplify it, break it down into mini goals, mini bite-size, little baby shark bites goals. I've done this for years. If there's a really big project to do, example, when I wrote this book, if I looked at this at the beginning of the year and I was like, hey, I'm going to write a gigantic book, it is an incredibly overwhelming process. But if I was to break it down and say, I have a goal of writing chapter 1 by this date and chapter 2 by this date, and completing half the book in terms of writing by this date, to submit the first draft by this date, those are all little teeny bitty bite-sized goals, and that makes it doable. Get super clear about the outcome. Delegate any tasks that you don't need. So if you constantly are getting distracted by peripherals, you can delegate a lot. And by the way, there is, I think it's in the second half of this book, I know it's in the second half of this book, there is so much on delegating that I can help you with, and it's a lot easier and cheaper than you think. So start small by getting things done today. If you're still overwhelmed, journal your thoughts and your goals daily. Hence why we have the vision book. You can write and journal on the line sheets and just write out what you're thinking. Take a 10-minute walk outside and get back to it. So that is, if you're feeling overwhelmed, I hope that can help you. Now, if you need to get focused, if you're feeling defeated and you need to get focused and you feel like you're constantly getting interrupted or things are ever changing, you need to eliminate distractions at work. You need to know your peak focus hours, which I'm going to help you with. You need to allow enough time to not feel rushed. That's a big one. You need to set smaller deadlines and set expectations for yourself. If that still is not working on a health standpoint, I would say a 20-minute workout, prioritize your health, and listen to a freaking good playlist, put your phone on airplane mode, and get focused. Is that helpful? So if you're feeling defeated, that can help you a ton. You probably need to get focused. If you're feeling anxious, you need to get clarity. Gather all visual information. If you can visually see it, it will help a ton. Get very specific about what you need to do to complete this task or to achieve the goal. Ask all the questions. If you're unclear about something, Google, ChatGPT it, search anywhere, ask someone that knows. Search YouTube. The best tutorials are free and they're on YouTube. Become a very resourceful human. If you're feeling anxious, get resourceful. Create a step-by-step game plan, even if you have to make it visual, like a little storyboard. Still anxious, meditate for 5 to 10 minutes, maybe on a 5 to 10 minute free meditation on YouTube on visualization and manifestation. Those usually help a ton. Or take a power nap for 20 minutes. I cannot do that. I cannot nap. I will be gone for 2 hours. I'm not a good napper. So that is out of the question. I can meditate. I could go do a workout, I could go for a walk, but I'm not napping. So hopefully that helps you if you're feeling anxious. If you need to add meaning, if you're feeling unmotivated, so if the goals are boring, too familiar, and you're like, ugh, this is super mundane, create a fresh start for the task. Make a challenge for yourself. So create a little mini challenge, even maybe like a little carrot at the end of it, like a little bottle of champagne for yourself. Get excited about the outcome and set up an incentive or reward for yourself. So if you're still unmotivated, put your phone on Do Not Disturb, get to work, and read a good book for a bit, just to detach, and then go back to it, fresh start, fresh feels, and jump back into the goal. And hopefully if you can set a little challenge up for yourself, you'll feel motivated to do that. All right, the last one. If you're scared and you need to build confidence, conquer doubt with positive affirmations. Even if you were to do a visualization or manifestation, understand that grit will be critical. Grit basically means you fall down, take it on the chin, you get back up and you keep going. That's grit. Grit is the thing that there's the reason why 50% of people will not be here on day 14 and you will. You have grit. It's as simple as that. It's the people with grit that usually succeed. It's not the people that are the smartest, the most outgoing, the best at filming things or doing things better than other people. They just show up. That's all it is. Even on the hard days, even when it's difficult, they're the people that are like, it will take longer if I cry. So just don't cry, dust yourself off, get back up and get back in the saddles. That's grit. So if you're feeling fearful, grit will be your best friend. Always lead with your values. It's going to be fine. If you know at the end of the day that you're a good person and you go to bed unbothered and you're like, you know what, I did my best, then why be fearful? If you're going at it with good values and a good heart, you're good. You got this. You're going to be successful. Grit and good values, you're good. Emulate. Oh, this is cute. I was going to say eliminate. Don't eliminate. Emulate someone that you look up to. So if you were to think of someone that is fearless, that they live your dream life, stop listening to people that don't live your dream life. It's crazy how much people that do not live our dream life we allow into our brain and to our own little ecosystem. And one thing that I've learned over the years is you will never find someone that is like, I hate whenever people use the word Karen, because there are really nice Karens out there and I know many of them, but you know that term of just someone being like a negative Nancy, or just like not a nice person, or just frankly a grump. Let's call them out. Oscar the Grouch. You will never meet an Oscar the Grouch that is successful and beautiful and shredded and ripped and so healthy and in love and in the perfect relation. You'll never meet an Oscar the Grouch. It doesn't exist. They usually are not living your dream life. So why are you listening to them? Why even inside your head? They might have never said anything. And that's the other thing is I think that we think that people are thinking about us more than they actually are. People are thinking about their own life. So stop worrying so much about what other people think about you and just do your thing. You're going to be great. So if you're still fearful, connect with a good friend, because your good friends will usually talk you up. And if they don't, you need new friends. We'll talk you up in here. We will be your biggest cheerleaders. So if you're ever feeling down, talk to yourself also how you would speak to a good friend and how a good friend would speak to you. Be kind to yourself and review your vision and your goals. So go back through your vision book and look at that. If you're feeling fearful, I used to be so scared to do certain things. And when I realized this, that my goals and my big dreams are greater than all excuses and all fears and all doubts holding me back. Like when I got really, really excited about my future, nothing else really mattered. So if you are feeling overwhelmed, defeated, anxious, unmotivated, or fearful, hopefully this helped. So there is space to write on the page after this or in your insert, but hopefully that can help you feel a little bit less stuck. On the page after that, I have an unstuck schedule. So if I was saying, if you're feeling unmotivated and you need to do, which one was it? Unmotivated and you need to do, you putting your phone on Do Not Disturb, reading a good book, where can that plug into your daily routine, your morning, afternoon, or nighttime routine, so that you can get unstuck and figure out exactly how to get productive. So today was a doozy, but hopefully between eliminating all of the labels that have been placed on you that you're like, that does not serve me, and I'm going to release that label, and actually I'm going to be this label, and getting that unstuck game plan of what's got you stuck and getting your ish together can hopefully now help you hit the ground running. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. I think tomorrow is Villain Era Day, so I'm really excited, and I have to make sure that I light that candle because we're gonna set them. If you have the candle with you, light the Villain Era candle tomorrow. It's gonna be great. It's gonna get sassy. You're gonna get tough love, Angie. It's gonna be amazing. I'll see you guys then. Cool? Bye, dudes.